Alright, decided to make a video, but I think I'll throw in some interruptions just as I have some extra ones laying around. Anyway, I thought, this Drake equation thing keeps coming up, this life happening all over the universe kind of bullshit. And, I just want to re-articulate the point here that, the Earth is this sort of unique environment. It does have not this hostile, it's good for chemistry, good for a lot of carbon chemistry, but it's good for chemistry, all kinds of chemistry take place. And there is no other manifestation so far, any that we've ever detected in all study of this planet and other celestial bodies, any evidence that any other arrangement of compounds by some sort of natural arrangement would ever fall into the ability to reproduce itself. It's kind of a weird thing. We can theorize about other mechanical structures of arrangements of chemistry that might be able to do that, but it might be able to do the blueprint thing and copy itself, and then we could hope that in 4 billion years it would evolve into something. But even the evolution process itself doesn't necessarily end up with being able to do this thinking and feeling thing. That might be really unique to carbon chemistry. Maybe you couldn't do that with silicone or some other reproducing matrix. No, that's the other word. Well, you get my point. It's sort of evidence in itself that we don't see it made out of like steel or some other like rocks or some other things aren't doing this reproduction thing. You have like crystals, but that's there's no DNA, there's no blueprint, there's no possibility for evolution there. There's just a copying process that's sort of external, that sort of forces the compound to do that replicating thing in terms of some sort of participant of a pure element. But anyway, or an impure element. This is sort of important evidence that this is very rare kind of chemistry that does this reproduce yourself thing. And let's understand again the context, that in all probability, what all the evidence points to, is that it was one single cell that it happened to. And it just happened. The things, just everything fell into place at the right moment. And it could have been chemistry that only lasted a millisecond. It could have been a compound that was created that would have normally oxidized in the same environment in a matter of seconds. But it got caught up in a little swirl or in some other thing. It didn't oxidize until it was in just the right place in the nucleus of the membrane or whatever. And, it could have just been such a unique circumstance that led to this happening, this manifestation of complexity. And that's what it is. It's just a manifestation of, the monkeys with typewriters. You take 1 million monkeys for 1 billion years and have them just whap at keys, and eventually they'll hit a chain of keys that will produce a coherent sentence. I don't think they could do Shakespeare, but who knows? It's just going to happen, but it takes billions and billions and billions of permutations for you to have that circumstance. And I just happened to be here with the camera, so I figured I'll make an interruption video. Yay! I used to like the interruption videos. So this is an interruption of the video. Yep. Just for the purpose of interrupting. No other real agenda. So I'm sure the video is about something very important, and this interruption will give you time to think about the importance of the subject matter. And remember, I mean, in case I'm not saying it in the video, life is really stupid. You're just climbing mountains of, complete bullshit. Bullshit mountains, Mount Bullshit. That's all you're caught up in. And you really should just chill and say, fuck that shit. I ain't gonna vote to do it again. Okay, just, finish out your little bullshit climbing. And but don't make any new bullshit climbers. We really don't need them. They really don't serve a purpose. So anyway, enough of interruption. Oh, moth, butterfly thingy. Yep. So there's hair stuck on my camera. Where the fuck have you been? You must have got drunk last night. Camera? Jeez. I told you about that stuff. Anyway, so till the next interruption that perhaps will not be soon. Who knows? There's billions of permutations for you to have that circumstance. And again, let's understand that there's no evidence that it's something matter does. Matter stops here. This is where matter likes to be, in just kind of this chemical state where it's mixed into compounds that just kind of stay the same for hundreds or even millions of years. They just stay in that form until something blows them up or particulates them and blows them back into space, or does something else because a meteor hits or something else. But that's what chemistry is doing. It tends to stay in stable arrangements over very long periods of time. And that's not very conducive to robot building. So again, it's just part of the context, and people just keep arguing it. They have all these are non-arguments. I mean, they argue that the life on this planet would consume any new life that ever tried to arise, and you could just make the counter argument that there's just as equal a probability that some new life form would be insidiously efficient in capitalizing on the existing life form, that it would be far more durable or stronger, or and it would be so blindly, it would be so rudimentary in its reproduction. It would still be in the phase where life on this planet had to get through, where it reproduces so excessively, it creates a toxic environment, and it has to evolve. If it doesn't evolve quickly, it won't survive its own pollution. It won't survive its own suffocation. It'll end up suffocating itself. It'll burn itself out like a fire. And the only thing that saves it from that is that it starts eating. It has to convert into something that can burn the ashes, and then something that can, burn the fireplace, and it's something that can feed off of something else that doesn't exhaust its food supply, like the first little reproducer would have if it didn't happen to quickly enough evolve into something that could eat the shit that the first generation created. Oh, there's the heron. Don't think you're going to be able to see him though. Didn't go too far. It'd be nice to get a good video of him, but he's very spooky. I mean, he's seen me for years and he still spooks really easy. Yeah, there he is, but you're not going to be able to see him. He's just sitting behind that log. There's a log over there in the middle. And he's right back there. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, he doesn't like me talking about him. So anyway, so I know this subject's going to keep coming up because people just think this is what the universe does. The universe doesn't do this. This is bizarre and eccentric chemistry. And then that's just the reproducing part. That's just to get to these things, these green things. It's even more bizarre and eccentric to get to one of these things. And if you look at the history of evolution on planet Earth, you can see it. We're a very recent occurrence, and I've only been here for a very short period of time. And we only got this super intelligence by accident. We acquired the ability to be smart before we had anything to put in our smarter brain, before we understood science and all the math and the mechanics of our world, before we had a language, we had the capacity to speak one. And that's a really bizarre circumstance. Evolution rarely gives an organism an attribute it's not able to use. It's like giving somebody a gun 100 years before you invent a bullet. It's really weird. And it's really weird when evolution does it. So there's a lot of things pointing against what we are. And understand, again, the context here is there's nothing, just because we exist does not mean we have been tested by some sort of rational equation and be found to be a productive and efficient user of the sentient capacity. We have to make that judgment. We're the smartest thing as far as we know, in the universe. We have to make the judgment. There's nothing else to make it. And to make it based on the fact of a default status, merely because it exists, it's good, would be as stupid as saying, well, smallpox exists, so therefore it must be good. That would be idiotic. So anyway, that's enough of a video. It'll do. It'll do, pig. It'll do, pig. Yeah. I'll be my own trainer. Way to go, Gary. You did okay. Got through that one. Yeah. Not great, but not bad. You got a little out of breath there, but and you handled the thing with the heron pretty interesting. Sort of a little like excitement, but yeah, it didn't really pay off because you didn't get a good video of anything. But almost good. So yeah, keep it up, buddy. And such. Yeah. All right. Yeah, pep talking myself. Anyway, yeah, so there I did a video, and I didn't expect to be doing one. So there we go. Free extra video. Yay! So, till next time.